Devin Booker signing the 2 years, 145, and Jokic turning down a similar deal. What do you think that is? Is that him just kind of holding the gun to Denver's head, or just next year he's just going to sign the biggest deal in NBA history?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I'm just going to wait till next year and I'll sign to 5 years, 350.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
whatever the biggest deal is ever.
Mind you, again, this guy makes 60, 70. These guys don't care.
Yeah.
They're not like, sign with. Devin clearly is just like, give me the money.
Yeah.
Every time they offer him an extension, he's, no matter how bad the Suns are, he keeps just going back and getting paid. He's doing what Brad did in DC.
And Dame did for a while in Portland.
And what Dame did in Portland.
Yeah.
Good call. The problem with that, for all three, is if you wait too long, you miss the window of going to go compete again. All right? And now Brad's like at the end of his prime, and like now he's got to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dame, same thing. He went to Bucks last year. Like, that wasn't the Dame that I played against. Good. Still averaged 20-something a game. The motherfucker's still a problem.
Yeah.
Was it the Dame from 6 years ago in Portland? All-NBA team, Dame? It's a little different. When you wait that long, you miss that window from loyalty. 100%. Sometimes can do that.
I thought Kevin Garnett, I think obviously when he went to the Celtics first year, won a title, was very, very good. Don't get me wrong, but maybe a couple years too long in Minnesota. Like
for sure.
But you never see a player in their prime move, right? We talked about this before. Like Paul George in his prime being moved. That's why the Luka trade was such a crazy thing. It's always when it's a little too late and then you see him on a different team.
But you've seen it with other guys. You know, LeBron's left. Luka did get traded. Paul George left. Kevin Durant's left. A lot of guys have done it. But yeah, most of the time guys will stay to a city out of loyalty, and then it gets to the end and they're like, I'm leaving. And it's like, man, you aren't the same player as you once were. Like, you missed that window.
Was there a difference between Darren Williams Jazz versus Brooklyn Nets Darren Williams?
Come on, man. Stop asking questions like that. And he was very good in Brooklyn. He was not Utah. Just from an athletic standpoint and zip, the way he was able to move, his crossovers, the way he was able to get to the basket, finish on people, there was a difference. He would tell you. He was very good in Brooklyn, but from an athletic standpoint of that decreasing, he was more prolific with Utah.
Hornets Chris Paul versus Clippers Chris Paul?
Hornets Chris Paul was better. Maybe the Clippers Chris Paul was a little bit more polished and smart, but yeah, if you asked him, he'd be like, yeah, New Orleans, that was the best point guard in the NBA, hands down. So there's a difference. There is, from guys waiting too long, and it usually happens out of loyalty, so you got to respect that. You got to respect, you can't have it both ways. We can't come up on here and give people shit for always jumping ship and going around and ring chasing and all this other stuff, and then we're mad at a guy like Booker who's like, yo, I've been on the same team my entire career. I'm going to hold it down here through good and bad. My argument with that is it's been a lot of bad. You had like 2 years where your team was competitive.
Right.
The other years have been very bad in Phoenix, Devin. You never made the playoffs before Chris went there. Chris goes there, you guys go to the finals. Chris leaves, you guys have been bad ever since. Then you try to get stars on your team. You went and got Brad, you went and got kept. That shit didn't work. Both of them were like, I'm out of here. So now he's there just like alone with a team that's awful.
Yeah.
They're bad.
And now he's in the actual prime of his career too.
Devin is the best he'll ever be is right now.
Yeah.
So if you're asking, is it frustrating for a hooper? Forget being a basketball fan. For a hooper to see a guy like that at his caliber just be in Phoenix, you're just like, God, Lee, man, get out of there.
Yeah.
That team has gone to shit. Get the fuck out of it. You're past loyal. First off, you're a part of a team that took Phoenix to the finals. That hasn't happened since Barkley and Dan was there, okay? You've already did that. You guys had a parade for going to the finals. Remember that? They're like sitting on top of the cars. That's how excited that city was. So you did your job, man. No, you didn't get a ring, but you almost did. And you've been there since your rookie year. You're the all-time leading scorer for Phoenix.
He's everything. I saw the charts. I'm sure you saw it.
You've got it all.
Yeah.
You've done your time.
Yeah.
Go. Let's get you on the stage again, Devin. Because that's when you're at your best. USA, you tapped into a different role. You were great. Finals, that whole run, you were great. I don't want to see Devin next year at 42 points or 35 a game and his team's record is just garbage.
Yeah.
Phoenix is awful. He's too good of a player. I would like to see it, and it's not going to happen. Phoenix ain't moving him, especially with the new extension. He's locked in for another couple of years there. It just would have been nice. I would like to see Devin just in the show. He's too good of a player to be wasting away. Right. That's more so. It's not against him. I'm not mad at him.
It would have been nice to get him in the Eastern Conference. We flirted with him on the Pistons with Cade. What a backcourt that would be. The Eastern Conference is wide open. We need more talent.
Imagine him with the Bucks. Imagine
the Bucks.
Imagine him because that's what they need as a guard. Like imagine like Giannis and Book and Miles immediately contender.
Yeah,
like that's what you want.
Yeah,
you want him in the show. You don't want Brad Beal and the Wizards leading them in scoring, not making an All-Star game.
Right.
leading the league in scoring, didn't make the All-Star game. That's what I'm saying. Like, that was the Brad that, like, get out of there.
Yeah.
That was where Devin's at now. Peak Devin. That was peak Brad.
Right. Well, last year he didn't make the play-in. I don't think it was an All-Star either, Devin. So
no, because that's what, when your team is losing, they don't give you that. And my thing is, Devin, you're too good of a player not to be in the All-Star game. You're too good of a player not to be in the playoffs.
You can't start on the Olympic team but not make the All-Star.
Not make the All-Star game.
Yeah.
You're too good of a player.
We made fun of Tyrese Halliburton for being on the Olympic team and not making the All-Star game. Devin was a key
player and didn't make one.
Yeah.
All right? You can't not be in the playoffs. You're too good.
Yeah.
And you didn't make the All-Star game because you didn't play well. This guy was cooking last year.
For sure.
Your team's trash. They're worse this year. I want him to go on a good team. He's too good.
Yeah.
He's just wasting away there. You're getting paid, but Devin, you get paid everywhere. Maybe not 70, but you'd get 60. Like, nigga, he's already on pace for $700 million in career earnings. He's got enough money, not to mention what he's making off the court. I'm sure he's invested well. He's in good circles. Like, the money's not the issue with him. I just want him to be in a competitive environment again. He's just too good of a player. I saw Brad Beal be in DC the last 3-4 years, just averaging 30, and everyone's just like, who cares? Bro, 30 is a lot of points to average. Just playing his ass off. Peak Brad. Couldn't get no love. Couldn't even get an All-Star nomination because his team was terrible. So it's frustrating, when you see that happen, because those guys they're both great guys, great players. You want them to be rewarded for it. And, you can't be mad at them because they're being very loyal and they're getting paid. But, as a hooper, you want to see them hoop. Yeah. You want to see them in those situations where you get to see these guys really perform. So Brad might have an opportunity if he goes to one of these teams, it looks like. But again, we talked about it, how late it is now. It's not the same. And where Devin's at right now in his peak prime, it's like, damn, I would like to see him on a playoff team. But yeah, the West is loaded. The East is more wide open. Atlanta and Orlando are the new teams on the block. They're the new kids on the block. All right. You have obviously the Pacers taking a step back, Celtics taking a step back. They've made trades. They've lost players.
Well, and your players, your best player on each of those teams is out for the entire year. You can take a year off.
And then you've also lost guys. They've lost things that made them hard to beat.
Why are you re-signing these guys if you don't have a chance next year?
That's why they've lost them. Yeah. Miles Turner's gone. Porzingis is gone. These guys have lost a lot.
Yeah.
So they're taking steps back. So when you talk about who's left, Cleveland's over there like, Cleveland and New York right now are looking at each other like, it's us too.
Yeah.
What you got going on over there? It's our time.
What do you think about the new Knicks hire?
The big brothers are out.
Yeah.
Boston's been just a glaring big brother. Just down. They're gone. People are just like, I know Cleveland and them are just like,
yeah,
let's get these guys out of here. Now it's just them in New York. And then you have these two teams, Orlando and Atlanta, are dangerous.
Yeah, and Detroit too.
And Detroit. So that's it. That's the 5. Outside of that 5, you'll go Milwaukee and Miami. But that 5 is solidified. It's Cleveland, it's New York, it's Detroit, it's Orlando, it's Atlanta. That's the 5 for the East. It'll be exciting to see how that pans out.